Reported to you at the beginning of the broadcast, the president is set to take executive action on amnesty as early as next week. But now two countries are seeking billions of dollars from this government to curb the flow of illegal immigrant children into the country. I know it sounds a bit like extortion, but I'm sure it's not that. Honduras and Guatemala both seeking $2 billion a year each from you, the taxpayer, and me. Joining us now, Republican strategist, former spokesperson for President George W. Bush, Mercedes Schlapp, and chairman of the American Conservative Union, Matt Schlapp. That's right, Mr. and Mrs. Schlapp are here with us tonight. It's great to have you both here. And if I may just turn quickly to first the election, and Mercedes, begin with you. Is this president, does he understand what happened, and that his policies that he insisted were on the ballot have been repudiated?
Oh, absolutely not. He basically went out there the next day and said that 2/3 of the voters didn't vote, and he really believes that those 2/3 of the voters would have voted for him and the Democratic Party. So again, I think that there is a sense that he is basically in denial, and I think as we're seeing in these actions that he's been taking with net neutrality, with the pact that he's doing with China on climate change, and these possible executive action on immigration, clearly he's continuing not to listen to the voters. He's basically saying, I have 2 years left, and he's going to ram through what he wants to do.
Well, I'm going to ask this because, Matt, it just fascinates me, the possible answers. Do you agree with your wife?
Oh, Lou,
you
I
better,
think she's
honey.
brilliant.
You better.
I think she's brilliant, Lou.
Yeah, there you go. Well, if we've got the record on that, let's turn to as I mentioned, Honduras specifically. Coming to the president, to the White House, saying they want $2 billion not to send any more children to the border to create more. I mean, that's outright extortion, is it not?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest problem here is that, we have tried this experiment with socialism. We have tried this experiment with stimulus spending and deficit spending in America, and now we want to export that. Now these countries they say they need this money so they can enhance their economies. Well, this is just going to go through the sieve, and it's not really going to help anybody. We're going to waste the money, and we're not going to solve any problems. So I hope, and I'm very trusting in this new Republican Congress to do the right thing and control the power of the purse.
Right. Well, I think that most of Central America by now has heard that this president wants open borders, wants as many illegal immigrants to enter the country as possible, and also wants to extend his redistributionist ideology beyond our borders. It's not enough to bring it to bear in our society. The fiat, the executive fiat that he's promised next week, Mercedes, do you think the Republicans can prevent the impact of such a fiat if he issues it?
I just think that the Republicans are going to be put into a very tough spot here. If he moves forward on these 10 points, this initiative that was presented to him, it is going to cause, it's like throwing a grenade into what we find to be a very fragile relationship between what will be the new Congress and the president. And here's the deal. 63% of Americans, they do not agree with unilateral action that would be taken by the president on immigration. This is the greatest expansion on immigration that we have seen in our lifetime, quite frankly.
Do you think the Republican majorities in both houses, in the House of Representatives, along with the majority to be in the Senate, can they muster the stuff to stop it?
The only way they can do it is through the purse. Again, it goes back to the fact of stopping funding.
Matt, your thoughts?
Lou, we're already seeing from Speaker Boehner a little shift. Right before we started talking, he's now saying that they have to take every step they can take, which might include the government shutting down. Not that they want to shut down the government, but if the president wants to get into a fight over his ability to spend this money, I think the Republicans are going to take him on, and really they should. This is obnoxious. This is extra constitutional. It's going to get fought out in the courts, but that's not the right way to handle this. The right way to handle this is in the legislative process.
To seek at least issue some respect to the American people, that you want to hear their voices, let them be heard, build a consensus in both houses. That would be lovely. But very un-Washington-like these days.
Right.
And you know what? I think you guys are terrific. We'd love to have you back on as the lovely couple, if I may say, that you both are.
Hey, Lou, you pay for the babysitter, and we're coming.
Okay, you know what? You've got Well, let me check with the wife. Thanks so much. Mercedes Van Schlapp, thanks so much.